Mrs. Moore, and I'm here to cook with you today. So I recently have been visiting the Eliot Garden, as many of us have, and what I picked up most recently are a bunch of tomatoes. So I picked up these beautiful tomatoes. Some of them are the larger size like this. I don't know all the names of the different varieties, but we've got the large ones, we've got the little, cherry tomato size. And what I decided I would do is make a marinara sauce to go on top of pasta for my kids. So the first step, obviously after you wash your hands and you're making sure that you're being very safe and have someone providing some supervision for you if you're a kid, you're gonna add some olive oil to your pan, and we're gonna go ahead and warm that up. I've also already got the pot of water going for the noodles, the shells that I'm gonna cook. So, okay, I also wanted to say I'm using a recipe that I found. I like to find super simple, super easy recipes that my kids will eat, and if they want, they can build on it. So, like, I have one kid in my house who really likes spicy food, so he will probably add a lot of chili flakes to his plate. My husband will put cheese on his. I'll add olives to mine as a topping. So this is just a really basic recipe, and you can add on it. All right, so it's from the site Live, Eat, Learn. Those three words, liveeatlearn.com. It's their fresh tomato marinara. So I've already started chopping up some of the tomatoes, so you don't have to watch me do that. This is starting to go a little crazy, so I'm just gonna trim that off. It's just to cook the pasta. So let's get the garlic going. And like I said, I think I said already that I picked up tomatoes from the garden. I have previously picked up some really pretty garlic. It was purple and just a beautiful color, but I used it all. So this, you need to get some garlic and tomatoes and parsley and basil. That's what we're gonna use. And those are the main ingredients for today. So let me get these garlic cloves a little bit kind of peeled and ready for my my press here. So I think my olive oil is pretty warm. I'm gonna put my garlic right here. So the garlic right into the olive oil, that's the first step. You do 3 cloves. It helps if you have a press like this, but you don't have to. You could chop it. My kids like to use our food processor, but you can just use it. You can just use a knife and chop as well. Okay. All right, so I should have got one of my kids to come help me. The garlic is gonna take up some of this oil, and while that's going, just really quick, the recipe says to cook it for about 2 minutes. My pan is really hot, so I'm gonna do less than that. It's definitely fragrant, it smells awesome. And then to that, you can add your tomatoes. So these are the ones that I chopped ahead of time. You probably want this just on a low heat, not too high. You don't want it to burn. What I've learned with tomato sauces is the longer they cook, the nicer, the more rich your flavor will be. But this recipe, what I like about it is you can have it ready to serve in about 15 or 20 minutes. So it'll taste better if you make it ahead. If you have more time to let it simmer, you'll get, more rich flavor out of it. But you can still do what I'm doing, cooking it now, and it'll be ready to go maybe in 15 or 20 minutes. Okay, so I'm gonna chop up a few more tomatoes and add those. In addition to the tomatoes, you want to add basil. So I did pick up some nice basil. I'm gonna go ahead and start throwing that in. And for my family, I'm gonna keep some fresh basil out to add as a topping when we're done. Okay, so let's put some more of this basil. I'm not really the type of cook that measures a lot because, I mean, you can't go wrong with tomatoes and basil and garlic and olive oil. It's gonna be awesome. It smells so good. Okay, so I'm gonna let that simmer. I'm gonna chop up some more of these tomatoes. This is gonna simmer, according to the recipe, it has to simmer, it has to simmer for about 25 minutes. So I said 15 or 20. 25 minutes, you chop up the tomatoes, you've got your garlic, your basil, simmering it for about 25 minutes. Then what I'm gonna add is, I'm gonna add a little bit of salt, some black pepper, and if you want, you can sweeten it a little. So I forgot to grab honey or maple syrup. That would be ideal, but you can just use a little bit of sugar to sweeten it when you're done. Again, you add it to your pasta of choice, and it makes a really nice meatless Monday meal. If you have people in your home that want meat, maybe you could serve this with chicken breasts or meatballs or whatever your meat protein of choice would be. But that's it. So from our garden, from Eliot's Garden, we got the tomatoes, basil, we would need parsley, garlic, and that's it. A little bit of olive oil and salt and pepper from your pantry. Okay, so that's it. Thanks. I hope you like it.